Welcome. I'm Davey Wavy, creator of Himroast.tv, and today I am joined by sex coach Finn Deerhart. Hey, Finn.
Hey there.
And my best friend Matthew Thomas. Hey, Matt.
Hey there.
Fashionably late, I will add.
There is a story, but it's okay. We'll talk about that offline.
This queen. So today we are talking about gay sex, and in particular, cummy undies. It is a very sticky situation, so let's get started. Before we get started, Himroast Live is sponsored by Himroast.tv. I created Himroast.tv to inspire better gay sex through explicit erotic videos. Watch free previews at HIMEROS.tv. It's like porn, but what?
Better.
But better.
He had bass. I had trouble.
It's nice to have you guys both here.
Yeah.
Seriously, we missed you last week, Finn.
I missed you guys.
I needed you for the opening. Oh boy, did I stumble. Fell, but I got back up.
She did.
She did.
Yeah, well, it's good to have you here. I feel very complete. Finn, what were you doing last week?
I was road tripping through the Midwest.
You were on like a pilgrimage.
I was. Me and my partner and I went through Wyoming and South Dakota and the Black Hills. It's so amazing.
Oh.
Yeah, and we're like, it was just like a road trip like you might take in high school with a friend is what it felt like. We were just having a really good time and reading books to each other in the car and laughing a lot and stopping along the way all over the place and fooling around and looking.
Did you have sex in multiple states and interesting places?
Totally, yeah. We did. We scattered our seed across the Midwest.
Well, we'll see what grows out of it.
I know. Little Finn and Sam babies.
Well, that sounds incredible. And Matt and I missed you terribly, but it is great to have you back. And it's an especially exciting week to have you back because you created the concept for the video that we're going to be discussing this week's Himroast.tv video. For people who are not members of Himroast.tv, can you tell us what this video is about?
Yes. This video is about two guys that are into each other, but are holding a kind of space with each other when they hook up or connect, where they're just wanting to witness each other. And you see these men, they're jacking off with each other and holding eye gaze and just really watching the other one be in his pleasure. And what I hope is also just tracking the other guy's experience. And then it culminates with one of the men comes on the other guy's underwear. And it's like, for me, like honoring the significance of cum in a spiritual kind of way and artistically expressing that it's more than just trash that leaves the body.
So before we get into all the cum talk, because I know that's where this conversation is going to go, I want to talk a little bit about chemistry because it's interesting with this video in particular. I can't tell you how many people were like, oh, so these guys must be like real life partners, right? And they're not. Like, we paired them up for this video. Did either of you guys feel that when you were watching it?
Oh, it seemed natural. It's funny, like watching it. I had I had an appreciation just because it was just an interracial couple. And so for me, like I'm sitting there and I'm watching and I'm like, oh, I can see that being me. Oh, I can see myself doing that. And it actually made me think of a situation that I was in with someone. So I think that I was able to connect because they seemed very connected. So I thought that they did know each other.
And you felt included in that. You felt like it was a reflection of yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Finn, did you feel the chemistry?
I did. Yeah. They looked like they were really present with each other. Which often comes from a connection that one trusts, you know, it's that sense of ease and connection and presence.
Yeah, it's, you know, Finn and I were talking about this before we got started, that like, that's probably our biggest issue when filming content is like trying to pair guys that aren't just interested in whatever concept it is, but are also turned on by each other. And like, usually when porn is made, it's just like, oh, this guy, like this afternoon we're filming it. Great, go. And they just kind of fake it, and it doesn't matter if they have chemistry or not, because that's not what they're portraying. It just doesn't matter. It's inconsequential. And for us, like a lot of the stuff we're doing requires like vulnerability and people to authentically show up. And like, it's important for them to feel connected to each other. So our strategy has kind of been, and I think there's still a lot of room for improvement, is finding guys that have either played together in real life or they've already filmed together and we're like, oh, this person was really fun to work with. What we try to avoid doing is pairing people up for the first time unless they've both kind of expressed this interest that they're really into each other. But it's difficult. It's like really time consuming and it takes a lot of resources. And I would love to do like a casting couch where if there were two people we wanted to work with, like do a test run and see how it goes. But we're just not there yet. We're just not. So anyway, okay, come talk. Let's get into the come. Matt.
Tell me.
Finn has talked to us at great length about how much he enjoys cum.
Okay.
But I want to know what your relationship with cum is. Do you like it? Do you love it? Do you hate it? And why?
Are you ambivalent about it?
I don't mind it. I mean, for the most part.
I don't mind it.
That's
a ringing endorsement.
I mean, it's funny when I think about the things that turn me on, I don't think about cum. Never have. But if someone came on me or wanted me to come on them, I don't care. Like, I don't shy away from it. I think in the moment when it's happening, I think I would catch myself doing things that I otherwise, if I had an opportunity to really stop and think about, I probably wouldn't do. What do
you mean?
Hold on now.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, like in the moment, if someone, like whoever finishes first, like I've had a guy literally take my cum, take his cum and put it in my mouth. And I would think that under any other circumstance, I'd be like, absolutely not what is happening right now. But in the moment, it's so hot and you're so into what's going on and you're like, I'm actually kind of okay with this.
I noticed that you said in regards to coming, you said if I finish first or he finishes, you use kind of like ejaculating as a synonym for finishing.
Yes,
Can we break that down? Is that what cum means to you?
Yeah, I would say it actually does. Doesn't mean that we can't go again, but yeah, I think it does.
So it's like the bookend to your sexual experience.
Well, no, that's not true. I guess no, because for me, you can still lay there, you can cuddle, you can enjoy each other, you're still connected, you know, if it's depending upon who it's with. So no, it's not necessarily over.
Yeah, and if it doesn't happen, you're probably okay with that too, yeah?
Oh, absolutely. I don't feel like I need to come to say that I actually enjoyed myself. Absolutely not. For me, it's not a race. It's not about trying to get to coming. There are times where I've had some of the best experiences I've had, I didn't come.
And do you find that it's difficult to communicate that to a partner that you're with? Because like, do they have the expectation that come is, you know, quote unquote finishing? I
do. And I mean, I find that a lot of guys feel like if you don't come, they haven't done what they are supposed to do. And it's funny because I think guys think that it's really hot when they're like, come on, come for me. And in my mind, sometimes I'm like, it's not about that. I want to enjoy this moment. Like, this is just fun. Like, why are you rushing me to come? Like, can I just stop and enjoy myself? Like, they want to rush to get to the end.
Yeah.
Because that's the part that I guess is maybe like really hot for them.
Or validating.
Or validating too.
Yeah, like it makes them feel like they did a good job as a bottom or top or whatever the situation is. Given that your relationship with cum is that you don't mind it, as you said, and also the face you were making as you said it. It's too bad this is a podcast. I don't mind it. So given that that's your relationship with cum, what was it like for you to watch this video?
I enjoyed the video because, like I said, like I kind of saw myself in that scenario. It actually brought me back to a specific time with a particular person, And I enjoyed it for what it was. You know, I think that I never really fast forward or anything like that. I just sat there and I sat back and I was like, I need to watch every piece of this. Like, I lost track of time. I really enjoyed it.
All right. Well, so Finn, I mentioned earlier that you created the concept for this video.
Yeah.
And just to give folks, I guess, a little bit of background around that, I approached you, Finn, about co-creating some himroast.tv videos. And given that you facilitate a lot of workshops with gay men around sex, it seemed like this would be kind of a fun one to work on. And I guess the question is, why do you think that this concept is important? And what were you hoping to accomplish with it?
Oh, I love that question. What I think these models actually nailed what I was looking for, and that is, like I mentioned, the word presence. I feel like on the way to self-discovery and sex, we come up to this point often where we realize that we're performing, or we had been performing, and like Matthew was just saying, like, rushing to an end or something. And when one becomes aware of that and just gets to slow down and be in the experience fully, not only are your sensations heightened because you can feel more when you're fully present, but also it's a nourishing experience. And so these guys really, I think, hold that space, like just watching each other and being with each other in a present kind of way, and not necessarily just like tunnel visioning and objectifying and just trying to get to the end. And they hold that spaciousness. So I want people to see that, feel that, slow down, and like acknowledge what's going on. I
don't know if we explained this in the description, but so the video is called Cummy Undies. And in the video, one of the guys comes into the other guy's underwear. Yeah. And then he puts those underwear on. Like, it's implied that he kind of like goes about his day. Actually, Finn, I think when you wrote this concept, it was like the guy was like getting ready for work. And what didn't translate into the video, I would have loved for it to have worked out that way, though, is like he pulls on the cummy underwears with his partner's cum in it, and then like puts on his like suit and then heads out the door. Yeah. I think that was kind of how you envisioned it. And like then the guy kind of goes out and lives his life, which is fun. Making a significance around it. You know, I do love cum, like we say, but it's not just like the cum is like the, you know, just the experience. Like, it's like the thing that really turns one on with the right guy is going to really turn you off with the wrong guy. And I'm not just like, ooh, I just want to go get cum for the sake of. It's like whose it is and when and why and what it means to me, which is like trust. And I've like, you know, being chosen, or I don't know, it's psychological. You wrote something really beautiful about cum and what it means and orgasm. Do you have that handy? It was like for this video. Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. I do. You want me to read that for Matt and I? Yeah, and everyone at home. Do your sexy voice. Oh, that's challenging. I could. This is my sexy voice. What? Oh, it's so sexy. Okay, go on. The moment of orgasm is sheer bliss. It takes us into a space and time that is as immense as we can imagine. The thrilling heights that we can experience in sexual connection reflect the shadowy depths into which we are willing to plummet in search of our own personal truth. We seek orgasm for so many reasons. Often it is the physical wonderment or the abandonment of routine lives that can close in around us. When we come, we are affirming that we are spontaneous, alive, even radical, since we have been told that our kind of sexual delight is forbidden. Semen itself is imbued with so much meaning and energy. We consume it and fetishize it. It validates that we've done a good job when we beckon it from our partner's cocks. Cum announces our own self-authority and desire to surrender to pleasure. It is also deeply feared because of its ability to transmit pathogens into our bodies, and it holds so much power in our imaginations for so many reasons. Ultimately, it is a sacred well of regeneration made deeply within the recesses of our bodies, urging us to share it, spread it, and recognize it. It is a stream that continues to flow until we die, connecting us to the cycles of life and death, and it has the power to create another human. If we let it, our cum can be religious, a way for us to symbolize our own intentions becoming manifest. Wow. I like that face, Matthew. What's the face?
There's no face.
No, he gave me this like really, it was like wow, I'm thinking about that. It was like, I'm pondering this.
Because
No, go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
go.
You're going first.
I've just, like I said, like I don't mind cum, but I don't really think I ever think about it.
It's not religious to you.
It's not religious to me.
You stole the question out of my mouth. Like, does it feel religious when you come?
No, I don't know. Like, I don't really ever think I've taken the time to really think about like the importance of cum.
I mean, and most people don't. I mean, that's the thing is like this isn't to single you out, because I think the reality is, of the 10,000 times I've came in my life, like what usually happens is I wipe it off with a rag or like put it in a tissue and flush it down the toilet. Like you treat it like, like it's like snot or something.
Yeah.
Do you feel interested in like approaching cum differently?
I mean, with the right person, sure. No.
I think that's a good point what you just said.
I think that when I think about the times where I've done things that like I said, otherwise, if I thought about it, I wouldn't do. It's with someone that I trust and that I'm connected with. But so if it's the right person, sure. But otherwise, I don't think that that's something that I want to experience without that.
What about your own cum?
I'm gonna keep wiping it off.
I know. So I feel like, I don't want someone's cum unless I really truly think about like want their DNA in me. Like I don't, otherwise it's like fun just to like shoot it on the body or just watch it fly or whatever. That's fine and fun for me, but I'm not fetishizing it to this point where I just have to have that.
I'm sorry, Finn. I'm just thinking of you saying to like your partner, like, I want your DNA inside me.
Well, it's so powerful feeling for me to know that, but yeah, give me your chromosomes.
But it's very Call Me By Your Name. It's like the peach scene that we filmed a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Do you?
I do. Yeah. I mean, I feel like I've had a few religious ejaculations lately. I mean, I don't know why they've been so good. Like, I guess because there is that chemistry. Like, I've been really into the guy, and I think lately I've been showing up more in the sex that I'm having, and like it. I think in the past it's felt like I followed the script, and this to me feels, the sex that I've been having lately feels more like riding a wave, I guess I would say, than like following a script, and kind of like seeing where it goes and being like open to where it takes me. And I think like I actually wrote a post this week on the Himros.tv blog. If you guys haven't seen it, you should check it out. I wrote a post about having good sex, and that like we all need a good fucking, because I mean, I think it's the whores and the sluts and the well fucked among us who are the people who are inspired and innovative and compassionate and connected, and like those are the people that are evolving humankind and moving our world forward, especially a world that feels so divided. So I think we need, more well fucked people, and yeah. Anyway, tangent. I'm sorry. So anyway, I guess my point. What?
No, go on.
What do I feel?
Do you feel like, now you said like your sex is different, it's more like riding a wave. Do you find yourself thinking, oh, I want to try this when I'm going into it? Or is it literally just whatever just happens organically, I'm just going to run with it?
I've kind of like, I feel I'm like laughing at myself for even saying this because it feels very like new agey, but I kind of go into it with an intention.
Okay.
And rather than like, okay, we're going to do this, this, and this, like, it's more like an intention of like, I mean, the intention could be like, I want to experience pleasure in new ways with this guy. Like it could be kind of open-ended like that. And I just go into it with that and then see where it takes me. But what I don't have is the script of exactly unfolding exactly a certain way. So I don't know. Does that make sense? Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does. So like you have nothing like specific in mind, like, oh, like I'm gonna try feet today, or like I'm gonna work this out where I'm gonna get pissed on. Like you just go into it like I'm gonna be open to whatever happens, but I want a connection.
I have gone into it with like, okay, I want to get my feet played with.
I mean, I didn't want to call you out or anything.
But like how that specifically happens and when it happens, I'm very much open to. Finn, help me out.
Well, I feel like you're both talking about very different approaches, and they're both pathways into pleasure. It's like, sometimes, I'm like, ooh, I really want this thing to happen, or that's kind of the fantasy that's central around my desire. And then a lot of times, like what Davey was saying, it's just like I really just want to be open to a new sense of freedom in myself. And just making that intention really does allow for so much more. But I mean, they're different, it's different. Like sometimes you do want the thing, and then sometimes it feels better just to be open-ended.
Yeah.
All right. Well, are you guys ready for some audience questions?
Oh, yeah.
What do we got?
All right, so we have 3 questions today. Question number 1, this was piggybacking off last week's conversation. Finn, we had a question. Someone was asking where the prostate is located. Matt, your homework, by the way, was to find your prostate. Was it successful?
Moving on.
So
I'm still working on it.
Okay. The question was, since it's only a few inches inside.
Is that hard to find?
She's busy, okay? We'll get to it.
All right.
So the question is, since the prostate is only a few inches inside, why do so many guys want huge cocks?
This is the best question.
Did you submit this question?
This is the best question. Because I remember when we were talking about it, I was thinking about that because I didn't realize how far in the prostate was.
Or how not far in it is.
Or not far in it is. So I wondered that. I was like, but anyway, I'll let one of you answer the question.
do you have some thoughts on that, Finn?
I do, yeah. I think the reason, well, first of all, if we look at like just all people and research in sex, in the area of sex therapy, gay men have a very disproportionate, statistically, seeking of like large cocks or like an attachment to that being a certain kind of thing, and not all men are that way. And there's a significant straight amount of people too that do, but it's just something that's more around psychological meaning. And I think gay guys have a psychological meaning around that. And I think it's about power and like who deserves to have power and attention, and it symbolizes strength, and it has like a psychological component because like we've talked on the podcast before, I've had a finger in my ass leading up to getting fucked, and it like as soon as I started getting fucked, it was less pleasurable for me. So it was like the finger actually felt better in that moment because of the connection that I had. Does that?
Yeah, and I'll add that like giving like head does not involve hitting your prostate, right? Like how is giving head different than eating a hot dog, other than that hopefully you don't bite down on the dick like you might a hot dog. But like you could put a hot dog in your mouth and that's not hot, but the dick is hot because it's psychological. So like a huge component of sex has nothing to do with, like, obviously we talk about pleasure points and nerve endings, but there's a huge part of sex that has nothing to do with any of that.
Totally.
And I also think that there is a contingent of men, as I've learned, who specifically seek out getting their second hole fucked.
Mm-hmm.
So you have your asshole, but then like 8 inches in, you have a second hole. And I have never had my second hole fucked, but apparently it feels very good. I don't know if either of you have had your second hole fucked.
I have.
Okay, so wait. So what does it feel like?
Well, are you sure you haven't? You must have.
I don't think I have. Because would I have I would know it, right? Like,
well, yeah, and it's very sensitive, and like if it's like it can be like if it's too fast, it hurts. So like a feeling of like something just like landed at endpoint. But if you're like really worked up and you kind of open up more, it's just like a deeper sensation. So there is something about that, about if that sensation is really what you want, then you do need something bigger. But that sensation, sometimes it's great, and for me, sometimes it's not great. It kind of depends on, again, the connection and what it means to me psychologically, and yeah.
I actually seek out having my third hole fucked. I want it so big that it like opens my esophagus that comes out of my mouth,
You want
up my ass through the
burn with
hole.
every thrust.
I want to get like a shish kebab. Okay.
They're good. It's not, big dicks are great, average dicks are great, small dicks are great. Basically, it's just about the psychological meaning and open up your idea of what's beautiful.
You know, a lot of our videos have big dicked guys in it. And the peach scene that we did as a tribute to Call Me By Your Name, the guy was more kind of modestly endowed. And I actually got a lot of people who emailed me saying, thank you for putting a not giant dick in the video. And I thought that was interesting that people, people resonated. Okay, second question. I don't know the answer to this one, so I'm going to need your help. The question is, what are poppers and what do they do? All I know is that they're VCR cleaner.
Yeah, I love it. You say you don't know the answer to this question. You don't really?
Yeah, I've never tried. Yeah, I've never even tasted alcohol. I'm organic and pure.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like very dirty suddenly.
Filthy Finn.
Yeah, well, I don't actually truly myself, I don't like poppers, but I have gone through phases in my life where I did. And it's a VCR cleaner. And what does it do? It makes you feel euphoric. It is like a hot rush through the body, but it's like it
lasts like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Have you done it, Matt?
Once.
That makes me sick now. I get sick to my stomach.
Yeah.
What did it feel like, Matt?
It feels euphoric. It's a nice feeling, but it lasts for such a short amount of time. But then again, it wasn't for me.
Is it like sniffing like a magic marker or something?
Well, yeah,
kinda.
It does give you like a component of like nervous system relaxation. So people like it for that reason. Especially if you're trying to take like a really big dick, that's part of that. I guess it's just like a way of being.
Yeah.
But
I've been told, or I guess you're supposed to use it when you're about to orgasm to maximize the sensation that you can get from orgasming with. I don't know. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't something I'd ever want to do again.
Yeah. It can be a euphoric feeling that feels really good to some people.
All right. Question number 3, moving on. It said of wiping my cum into tissue and flushing it down the toilet. What are some alternative ideas that better honor my semen?
Rub it all over.
Yeah. Do an art project with it.
Yeah.
Keep track of all your loads that you shoot.
I don't think that was here when Finn was talking about how... Finn, can I share this with Matt about how you
totally
Finn his partner was away and so you came into a jar, right? And each time you shot, you kept like a diary on like what was happening in your life and like around that load.
Yeah.
And then his partner
ate it. Yeah, he ate them all. I'm like, it was silent.
Yes, it's just too much for Matt. We lost him on that. I heard of an orgy where the guys, they had like a red linen, like in a bowl or something, and everyone came into the red linen. And then at the end of the orgy, the person who threw the orgy went out into their backyard and like buried it into the ground, like had like a ceremony.
Oh, wow.
So I guess that's
really
an option. That's an option.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was cool. Could you come into a plant, like a house plant, and just use that to like fertilize it and see what happens?
Totally. You could just do anything with it. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
That came to me was like, shoot as many loads as you can on a shirt and wear it to Pride.
Wait, what happened?
There's that too.
Shoot as many loads onto a black T-shirt as you want, and then wear it to Pride.
Yeah, it'd probably be a little stiff, a little crunchy.
I know. It's a very radical statement.
Yeah. I know Matt really likes cum muffins, right? Like you just put it right into
yeah.
some recipes. Yeah.
And
Finn perked up
Swallow
on
it
that one.
whole.
Yeah.
We did a video for Himros TV though that was a cum anointing video. Matt, I'm gonna send it to you after. But basically, the guy comes and then he like almost religiously anoints his body with the cum that he shot, rather than treating it like toxic waste.
That's an ancient ritual even. It's like masks is in tantric texts around making masks to wear to honor it, to like the face of God.
Out of cum?
Yeah.
You can make a mask out of cum.
Yeah.
What an interesting world we live in.
Yeah, and that is old, thousands of years old.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Coming soon to a Himros TV.
You can donate it and make cash.
Oh, that's true. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So lots of ideas.
Try that.
All right. Well, guys, we are coming up on the end here. So next week, just a heads up that we are going to be talking about opening up a bottom. And in the meantime, make sure you join us on himros.tv. If you're not a member, it's apparently very difficult for people to spell. It is the word him, H-I-M, and then eros, E-R-O-S .tv, not .com, not .org, .tv. So thank you to Matt and Finn. Finn, where can people find you?
Oh, at finndeerhart.com. That's FINNDEER, like the animal, HART, or sexcrafting.com.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for being here. And next week, make sure you guys join us again. Finn, you won't be here, right?
I won't be here. I'm on a surprise somewhere. Like my partner says I have to take those days off. I won't be able to be reached. Yeah. And then I'm supposed to be blindfolded where I go. I don't know.
Oh my God. I love it.
I know. I'm a little nervous though. I'm like, what is this?
How exciting. All right. Well, with that tease, you're going to have to tell us. We look forward to seeing you in a couple weeks.
Okay, bud.
All right. Thanks, guys, for watching. And as always, more to come.